with that being said, I would love to introduce our first speaker, Josandra Barros, part of Southside Community Land Trust. She's going to be talking about the Renew Coalition as well as the food bill that's part of Rescue Rhode Island. Thank you.
Hi everybody. So yes, my name is Josandra Barros, and in the fall of 2020, I joined the Renew Coalition, a group of organizers from frontline communities, labor unions, indigenous tribes, environmental justice campaigns, youth groups, and racial justice organizations who came together in the beginning of 2020 to envision how to tackle the overlapping crisis we are facing here in Rhode Island. These grassroots leaders spent a year developing detailed plans for how New England can address mass unemployment, racial injustice, and the climate crisis. The result was a series of community-driven policies and programs to ensure that all Rhode Islanders have affordable housing and food and clean air to breathe and water to drink. Yes. That is the Rescue Rhode Island Act. Yes. And we are here today to make sure that our state senators and representatives listen to what we, the people, have to say. That's right. I'm a resident of the South Side, and I live in a home that my family has owned for 5 decades. And I'm blessed to call myself a second-generation land steward, growing vegetables and herbs on the same land that my grandfather grew vegetables and herbs from the 70s until his passing in 2011. Growing, distributing, and preparing food for my community is the livelihood that I'm passionate about. The land that I grow on and the entire neighborhood around my home has been threatened for decades by the developmental pressures of the hospital, which has left much of the corner of our city covered in concrete parking lots filled with commuter vehicles that move in and out daily, without enough tree coverage, and polluted by all the toxic industry in the port. Every day, there is some sickening odor, whether diesel fuel, chemical fire, or the smell of the river itself, which is heavily polluted. I have lived and worked all over the city and state, and I have seen firsthand the vast environmental, social, and economic disparities between wealthier white neighborhoods and poorer majority communities of color. These discrepancies are not an accident. Right. They are the intentional design, and a design that has been supported by the Rhode Island legislature of both past and present. That's right. Rhode Island has a flourishing food economy, and yet we see unacceptable levels of food insecurity and hunger throughout the state. Yes. 25% of all Rhode Islanders are food insecure. Yes. This pandemic has only highlighted how inadequate our current local food system is in both feeding and providing living and working opportunities. The Rescue Rhode Island Act will address that. That's right. I'm calling on Senator Oyer and Senator Coyne to bring these bills out of committee and to the Senate floor for a full vote. We are calling on all of our senators. We are calling on all of our senators and representatives to act in the direction of building equity now. Yes.
Thank you very much for those awesome words reminding us just exactly how this act will affect everyday people here in Rhode Island.